We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
It's time to buckle up for making sense of the madness.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here. And every once in a while in passing, you will hear me talk about DEFCON, the conference which incorporates different types of techies, hackers, cybersecurity experts, and the intel community, as well as privatized entities, the likes of which you can only imagine. And just recently, they had their 33rd conference. Now, DEFCON's one of those, weird things because it has very much the feel of, say, a SIGGRAPH that I went to when I was in college that still goes on today, like a trade show with your craft. In other words, there are booths, there are advertisements, there are competitions, there are panels to sit on and to watch. And a lot of this is very, very intriguing stuff. However, I would say if you're going to DEFCON, you automatically know that everybody is a target in some sense. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you go to a CES conference, right, you may have some nefarious individuals or actors that may choose some people to scam, to hack into their data, identity theft, et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely happens. But if you're at DEFCON, you are on another level where there might even be a running competition, for instance, and not an official competition, just among the DEFCON attendees themselves to see how many devices that they can hack into, gain control of, change the wallpaper of, whatever. All right? And the terminology, before it was butchered via the QAnonsense era of white hats and black hats, simply means this. White hat hackers, everything is above board. So everything that they're doing and teaching, you can do on your own at home, no criminal charges whatsoever. Go for it. Go for it, guy. Right? It's the exploitation hacking that doesn't take an illegal turn. I'll give you a great example. The courts have ruled once I purchase a device, that device is mine. So if I want to root an Android phone, I want to do the magic device, or if I want to modify an Xbox system, that would be considered under the realm of white hat hacking. See, we sometimes stutter on our words here. Now, black hat hacking would be gaining access to the infrastructure of, say, the Xbox network or the Microsoft network, Xbox Live. In the past, the PlayStation Network has been hacked. And then getting users' account informations, their username and passwords, and then exploiting that in different ways. Sometimes selling it on the quote-unquote dark web, sometimes identity fraud, sometimes just utilizing it to charge certain things. I mean, there's a multitude of things. Now, that's why you have the security companies coming in. And ChatGPT in particular is now something that more and more people are using. And what's really unique about this hack is you just have to you don't have to click a thing. And you don't have to click a thing. And you can be hacked. Zenity, the Israeli company, is the one that was able to achieve this and presented it at DEFCON. And we're going to go even beyond that. We're going to show you the DARPA incorporation. We're going to show you the university incorporation of DARPA and how that university system, Vanderbilt University, in this case, is integral in the military-industrial complex, in the future of artificial intelligence, in the defense community, not only in the online narrative, but also in the print narrative, etc. It's going to be a good one. Probably a shorter one, but one I really hope that people pay attention to. In fact, one of the graphics that I'm going to show you from this Vanderbilt presentation, this Vanderbilt University now merging with the national security state, just lovely stuff. I mean, not that it always hasn't been kind of an arm of that. I could probably spend an hour doing like a Q&A on. The problem is it is such a large graphic that if someone like myself were to present a graphic of this nature, okay, I'd be kooky town. It'd be like that meme with Charlie Day where he's like, and he's got all the ribbons and stuff like that. Oh, they'd be like, Jason Bermas is kooky. But this is Vanderbilt approved, produced, and national security enhanced. So when you look at this, pay attention. Because, I mean, I want to say just about every single topic that's on this mess of a graphic, I've covered at some point and continue to cover because they really are many of the issues that are going to affect every single one of us, whether we like it or not. All right, folks, thumbs it up. Subscribe, share. If you are watching live and you're in the live stream, comment down below as well. And I hate doing it. Got to do it. No paid gigs. No paychecks. I need your support. I do want to thank everybody who has donated recently, from Tim to Ken to Jamma and others. If you don't like the Buy Me a Coffee, you want to remain more anonymous, there are links down below, just like the PayPal. And if you want to see a lot of these stories in their raw format and a lot of stuff that we don't end up covering here, give me the follow on X as well. Let's get into it. Vulnerabilities exposed. Israeli company reveals how users can hack ChatGPT accounts remotely. The company is Zenity. Let's just read it from right here, guys. Israeli cybersecurity company Zenity revealed what it defines as the first ever zero-click vulnerability in OpenAI's ChatGPT service, showing how one could take control of a ChatGPT account and extract sensitive information without the user clicking a link, opening a file, or performing any deliberate action. Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. I love to know that the software they're selling me to use on a daily basis as my assistant and to always have on has an open vulnerability. And look, let's be honest. If you're running Windows, if you're on a Mac and cheese, aka Apple, I'm sorry. You know, also wide open. There are some safeguards, but are there any like real over the top, totally get myself out of the system and still utilize this technology safeguards? I don't think so. Just point that out. But, you know, again, this shows how vulnerable this tech is right now in its incarnation. Remember, GPT-5, I think that they're about to launch that or have just recently launched it. I got to admit, I don't keep up on my GPT. The demonstration was conducted by Mikhail Bergeroy, a co-founder and CTO of Zenity, during the Black Hat 2025 conference held this week in Vegas, baby. He showed how a hacker could exploit the system using only the user's email address to gain full control over the user's chat, including both past and future conversations, altering the conversation's goals and guiding the chat to act on behalf of the hacker. I mean, it's bad enough, the AI narrative management that we're getting, but now you could literally maliciously hack into these things. And you wouldn't even necessarily, by the way, have to have another human being guiding that conversation. It could just be another programmed AI with different guardrails. You think about that, folks? It's a weird world we're living in. It's only getting weirder, I promise. During the lecture, it was demonstrated how the... Oh, come on now. You don't want me to read the article to the people? Come on now. That's weird that did that. During the conference, the company's researchers showed how they had managed to breach other popular AI agent services in Microsoft's Copilot Studio. A way was revealed to leak entire CRM databases. You know what I don't have on my Windows? Copilot. And by the way, what really pissed me off is that I've deleted it, add remove programs, because in court they've now said you can delete it just because what it does. And every time your computer updates, any of the updates, they just put it right back on. You got to redo it. You got to take it right back off. Right? And I'm going to take it off every single time. I haven't wanted to move to Linux. I may have to start learning it. And I don't know what that means for this vast array of software that I utilize here in my home studio. But boy, oh boy, that would be one of my personal lines in the sands and kind of navigating the system. In the case force of Salesforce Einstein, hackers created fake service requests that redirected all customer communications to email addresses under their control. Google Gemini and Microsoft 365 Copilot systems were repurposed as hostile agents that performed social engineering on users and leaked sensitive conversations through email messages and calendar events. AKA blackmail, anyone? Hey-oh! I love where AI and hacking is going. Fantastic. The development tool Cursor, when integrated with Jira MCP, was also exploited in an attack where malicious tickets were used to steal developers' login credentials. Zenity noted that some companies like OpenAI and Microsoft quickly released patches following the report. However, there were also companies that chose not to address the vulnerabilities, claiming that it was the system's intended behavior rather than a security flaw. According to Mikhail Bergeroy, the new challenges stem from the fact that agents today are not just assistants performing simple tasks, but digital entities, digital beings, the entities acting on behalf of users, opening folders, sending files, and accessing emails. He pointed out that this is like a paradise for hackers, as there are countless potential entry points. You don't say. How's about that? Ben Gallagher, co-founder and CEO of the company, emphasized that Zenity's research clearly shows that current security approaches are not suitable for the actual operational practices of agents, and that organizations must change their approach and seek dedicated solutions that will allow them to control and monitor the activities of these agents. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature. You gotta love that. Zenity was founded in 2021 by Ben Gallagher and Mikhail Bergeroy. The company currently employs around 110 people worldwide, with 70 working out of the company's Tel Aviv offices. And by the way, We're talking about an Israeli company. Yes, 100%. Mossad, IDF, Unit 8200, whatever. Someone's embedded there. Several people, just like we are not allowing AI to push forward without the Chief AI Officer program, in which your it's your CAIO officer has a security clearance. And he or she is not going to be the only one in that company. Promises. So, DEFCON AI Cyber Challenge winners revealed in DARPA's $4 million cybersecurity showdown. It's a showdown. Now think about this. I mean, you can make some real bucks, and really even that $4 million bounty, yeah, that's nice. That's kudos to you-nos, but that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what you'll make as a defense contractor in some kind of private security firm or for DARPA themselves or a subsidiary thereof. So this was actually a program that commenced a couple years ago, and it just got the winners here. These are high bar hacks. I was watching, you can watch the DEFCON conference has its own YouTube channel, and it's actually extremely insightful at certain points. Like, I would encourage people to go check it out. All right, 1,000%. Because these are the things that actually matter. It doesn't mean that you're not going to learn to code, but you want a general grasp of what's driving all this stuff, right? And by the way, that prize was broken up there. You see, they won the $4 million, then there was a $3 million, and there's a $1.5 million. There's all sorts of different prices. And that's what I mean about DEFCON. Forget about all these cybersecurity agencies and, government contractors, intel agencies, etc. Yeah, I mean, you're among some serious peers here, okay? 2 years in the making. I mean, they look. It's the happy skull and bones. We're the black hats. We're the happy skull and bones. And I mean, right there's Jim O'Neill, Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Really, this is the guy we're going to focus in. We're right here. Okay, we're gonna read this one here. Okay, this is Paul Nakasone, and this is a short article, but he gives the keynote at this Vanderbilt speech. This is where and of course, a lot of these hackers are, into computer science at university, et cetera, et cetera. Some people are beyond that. It's a lifelong thing. But Nakasone really, first of all, I don't necessarily disagree with whatever they quoted him about in this article at DEFCON. But about a month ago, when he gives this keynote at this Vanderbilt University Institute for National Security, I mean, when you see this graphic, and then you just see who the fellows are. These are the new fellows. We got to keep an eye on this tech. All right? Because we're talking about social engineering. We're talking about narrative management. We're unfortunately talking about bioengineering of the entire planet and our species. We're talking about the future of currency and trade, the tokenization of everything, a track, trace, database society with automation built in the infrastructure, internally, everywhere, with a lot of nefarious people. And I'm not just talking about the government, and I'm not just talking about the corporations. Yeah, we just talked about just individual scammers and black hats a moment ago. All right, let's read this one, huh? The Trump administration, let's bring it up a little bit. Trump administration's radical changes to the United States fiscal policy, foreign relations, and global strategy, combined with mass firings across the federal government, have created uncertainty around U.S. cybersecurity priorities that were once on display this week at two of the country's most prominent digital security conferences in Vegas. We are not retreating. We're advancing in a new direction. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Chief Information Officer, that's a mouthful, Robert Costello said on Thursday during a critical infrastructure defense panel at Black Hat. As in other parts of the federal government, the Trump administration has been combing intelligence and cybersecurity agencies to remove officials seen as disloyal to its agenda. And honestly, good. Good. And disloyal to their agenda. Again, they tried to coup the guy, and we got 2 assassination attempts we know about. Good. Alongside these shifts, the White House has also been hostile to former U.S. cybersecurity officials. Good. In April, for example, Trump specifically directed all departments and agencies to revoke the security clearance of former CISA director Chris Krebs. Good. See, all this is a gravy train with biscuit wheels. We haven't gotten to this ex-NSA guy, but he's pretty slick, as a lot of these people that they put into the forefront are, by the way. And last week, following criticism from far-right activist Laura Loomer, the Secretary of the Army rescinded an academic appointment that former CISA Director Jen Easterly had been scheduled to fill at West Point. Again, good. Good. Good, good, and good. I'm actually for all the... And that's not me endorsing Loomer. But the proof is in the pudding. These are not the people that you want in there. Amid all, and that doesn't mean the people that they have in there are great, by the way. Amid all of this, former U.S. National Security Agency and Cyber Command Chief Paul Nakasone speak with DEFCON founder Jeff Moss in an onstage discussion on Friday, focusing on AI, cybercrime, and the importance of partnerships in digital defense. I think we've entered a space now in the world where technology has become political, no kidding. And basically, every one of us is conflicted, Moss said at the beginning of the discussion. Nakasone, who's on the board of OpenAI, that's right, he's an Altman guy. And that's why you keep an eye on him, because, again, Altman is now cozying right in with the Trump administration. And OpenAI is ChatGPT, and that's why we led with the hack of ChatGPT. You see the incestuous relationship of the topics we discuss here? He agreed, citing Trump's January launch of the Stargate AI infrastructure initiative, flanked by Oracle's Larry Ellison, SoftBank's Matoshi Son, and OpenAI's Sam Altman. And then 2 days later, just by chance, the Chinese generative AI platform DeepSeek came out. Nakasone deadpanned. Amazing. See how that works? And, essentially he's showing, the idea that right now the consumer race is different than the race that's going on behind the scenes. But once you realize that the government is in bed with these companies, I don't know what you can call it but techno-fascism. It's the very definition, especially when you have classified information. And it's defense-driven. Certainly not capitalism. Certainly not free market. Okay? And as far as, everything becoming political because of technology, I've witnessed it. I've witnessed people I never thought were going to be political in any manner, but boy, they think they are now. It's kind of freaky. Nakasone also reflected on demographic differences between the U.S. federal government and the tech sector. When I was the director of the NSA and the commander of U.S. Cyber Command, every single quarter I would go to the Bay, or I would go to Texas or Boston or other places to see technology, he said. And every place that I went to, I was twice the age of the people that talked to me. And then when I came back to D.C. and I sat at the table, I was one of the younger people there. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem for our nation. No, that's a problem for the world too. But at the upper echelons of the predator class, they don't see it as a problem because they're managing it. And what do I mean by that? The people that really control the vast majority of your senators, your congressmen, your politicians, your CEOs, even. Again, CEOs don't necessarily own anything, right? They're getting big bucks, but are they the controllers? I mean, the people that run the banks, those people, they just realize they're going to be able to utilize it for whatever they like because they've controlled the narrative. And they don't mind that there's, I watched some of those Facebook hearings, which were awful in themselves. But, they say, oh boy, I like it when my granddaughter is on the Facebook and this and that. It's good. I mean, they don't understand how anything works. Just base level. And this guy, I don't know exactly how old he is. He strikes me, he's probably in his 50s, early 60s max. Right? But when people are deciding on this policy or just kind of in the room, that is a big problem. But it's not a problem for those at the top. It's a problem for me. It's a problem for you. It's why I agree with a lot of what he said on this panel. Throughout the discussion, Nakasone largely geared his remarks towards efforts to counter traditional U.S. rivals and adversaries, including China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia, as well as specific digital threats. And again, he just goes down the line on the same talking points we've heard for years. Why aren't we thinking differently about ransomware, which I think right now is among the great scourges that we have in our country, he said. We are not making progress against ransomware. And quite frankly, that is scary if it's true. But at the same time, we haven't seen any real high-scale ransomware attacks, at least on infrastructure, in a while, at least that we know about. At times, though, Moss attempted to steer the conversations towards geopolitical changes and conflicts around the world that are fueling uncertainty and fear. How do you be neutral in this environment? Can you be neutral? Or is the world's environment, since last year, Ukraine, Israel, Russia, Iran, just take your pick, America, how does anybody remain neutral? Moss asked at the beginning of the conversation. Later he added, I think because I'm so stressed about the chaos of the situation, I'm trying to feel, how do I get control? And that's the thing. And we often talk about that here. The only thing you control is your own life and navigate certain things. You can be a part of movement. You do have great power as an individual, but to think that you can control all that chaos, it's not going to happen, Captain. Got to control your own chaos. Referencing these remarks and comments Moss made about the turning to open source software platforms as community building alternatives to multinational tech companies, Nakasone hinted at Moss's notion that the world is entering a precarious state of flux. Yeah, that open source, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting storyline that we play out through 25 and 26. When we come back to DEFCON next year and we have this discussion, we will still be able to have the sense of, are we truly neutral? I sense not. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I agree. So now I'm going to end up hitting play on this video too at some point, just so you can see the other senior fellows. And this is Nakasone at the Vanderbilt University Institute of National Security. Now, they've had this institute for some time. This is the first year that they've made it about national security openly. Okay? And, I mean, I could start all over. And this is, like I said, this is going to be a tough one. Summit of Modern Conflicts, Emerging Threats 2025. It's got the danger of artificial intelligence. You see the drone, that's where that is. Okay, let's see if we can get our little dicka-dicka-doo right here, little drone. Then we've got Bitcoin mining right here. Let's see if we'll make this a little bigger. Get my stupid face right out of here. You got Bitcoin mining over here. You've got the dark web, workforce shortages over here. Notice you got the robotic arm, nimble and agile. Like I said, we could do a whole show just on this. But if Jason Bermas made this graphic, Crazy Town, USA, bioscience and medicine. You see the DNA helix over here, RX, precision medicine, bioterrorism. They're talking about the limitations, agriculture threats, cyber frameworks, the uncertainty of bad actors, right? They're talking about different types of policies. AI is a tool for security, global surveillance, and the need for collaboration. Okay? Governance and policies, accountability. I mean, this is it. Look at this thing. So I'm just going to hit play for a second. So you can, human versus AI. Again, I could spend how long just discussing every single one of these little graphics because we have. AI is the terrain, both offense and defense. I mean, this is it. But I want you to see the other senior fellows. So, I mean, this is one of those think tanks. But it's a think tank that is sending young people directly into the national security field via AI.
Summit hosted by our newly launched Institute of National Security. Chancellor Diermeier announced Vanderbilt's intent to establish the Institute at last year's summit. I signed on in June, and we've been on a rocket ship journey ever since. From humble beginnings, I'm pleased to see how far our Institute has come in 9 months. The Institute of National Security is an academic proving ground for the next generation of national security leaders with the technical capacity, policy insight, and critical thinking skills to succeed in an evolving and complex world. Built on the foundation of a world-class university, the Institute upholds free expression, fosters radical partnerships to address complex challenges, and takes a pragmatic approach to delivering real-world, actionable solutions to urgent national security threats. What makes the Institute unique is a belief that national security incorporates a broader definition of threats and considerations, that we face these challenges now, and we must develop the next generation of national security professionals with unique knowledge, skills, and abilities to succeed in a changed world. As we close our inaugural year, the Institute is advancing boldly with a dynamic set of initiatives. Each of these support one of the 4 pillars of our Institute: educate, innovate, convene, and advise. The Institute of National Security is, first of all, proud to announce the first cohort of National Security Fellows. These fellows bring an extraordinary depth of knowledge and leadership to Vanderbilt. Their mentorship and real-world expertise will be invaluable in preparing our students to tackle evolving challenges of national security.
So I guess we'll do with no graphics just for a second. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Here we go. That's Julian Barnes, national security reporter of the New York Times. Shelley Bruce, former chief of communications, Security Establishment Canada. Admiral Michael Gilday, former chief of naval operations. Blake Hall, CEO and co-founder, ID.me, talk about, track trace database, and Ann Milgram, former administrator of the DEA.
The program is a significant step in fostering the next generation of security professionals who will safeguard our future. I invite our fellows to stand at this time. Please join me in welcoming Julian Barnes, Shelley Bruce, Admiral Mike Gilday, Blake Hall, and Ann Milgram. From cybersecurity and intelligence to military operations to law enforcement to running large organizations and investigative journalism, these 5 outstanding individuals bring a wealth of expertise and insights to Vanderbilt. Thank you. These 5 stellar individuals aren't the only thing that will benefit the Vanderbilt community. Our 25 for 2025 initiative, which places 25 Vanderbilt undergraduates in key national security organizations this summer, will assist in providing invaluable experience for those students beyond academia and help shape the future of national security.
And help shape the future of national security. Folks, that is going to wrap this one up. I do want to remind everybody to check out all the documentary films for free down in the playlist section below. Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture for the large-scale stuff. Still don't know that much about 9/11. Fabled Enemies and Loose Change Final Cut have you covered. And once again, folks, I can't do it without you. I really hate harping on it like this. But like when Alex is selling, whatever it is, going, folks, we're going to be under. This is the real deal, folks. There are no paychecks. I need you now more than ever. 510 $15. It means the world to me. Big donors need you now. There's other links. Other than that, down below, other than the Buy Me a Coffee, I do want to thank everybody who has supported true independent media that is not about left or right, is always about right and wrong. I absolutely love you guys, and I will see you all on the flip side.